What's up, developers? Welcome to Talking AI, where we break down the AI news that actually affects your code, your wallet, and your weekend plans. Google just donated their agent-to-agent protocol to the Linux Foundation, and somewhere a developer is questioning their life choices because apparently we're about to witness the birth of the AI agent protocol wars. Yeah, that's a real thing now, because if there's one thing the tech industry loves more than creating new protocols, it's creating competing protocols that do basically the same thing. So yesterday at Open Source Summit North America, the Linux Foundation announced they're now hosting Google's Agent-to-Agent, or A2A for short, protocol. And before you ask, yes, this is different from Anthropic's Model Context Protocol, or MCP, because apparently we needed two protocols for AI agents to talk to each other like we needed two different charging cables for phones. But here's the kicker. This isn't just Google throwing their code over the fence and walking away. The founding members of this new agent-to-agent project under the Linux Foundation include Amazon Web Services, Cisco, Microsoft, Salesforce, SAP, and ServiceNow. Let me repeat that. Amazon and Microsoft are both backing a Google-created protocol. It's like Tesla, Ford, and GM all agreeing to use the same charging standard. Oh wait, that actually happened. Maybe there's hope for us yet. Alright, let's break down what agent-to-agent actually does, because the marketing speak is thick on this one. A2A is basically a universal translator for AI agents. Remember when you had to write custom code every time you wanted two different APIs to talk to each other? A2A tries to solve that, but for AI agents. The protocol lets AI agents discover each other's capabilities, exchange information securely, and coordinate tasks across different platforms. Think of it as LinkedIn for AI agents. They can find each other, see what skills they have, and decide if they want to work together on a project. Here's how it works. Each agent publishes an agent card, basically a JSON file at a predictable URL that says, "Hi, I'm Bob the SQL agent. I can query databases, and I require OAuth authentication." Other agents can read these cards, figure out who can help with what, and delegate tasks accordingly. Now, Google is positioning this as complementary to Anthropic's MCP. Their documentation literally has a page titled A2A Loves MCP, with hearts and everything. Google claims MCP handles connecting agents to tools and data, while A2A handles agent-to-agent communication. This is like McDonald's saying, "We're not competing with Burger King. We both serve food, but we use different buns." Technically true, but in practice, developers are going to pick sides. And let's be honest about what this really means. Google looked at Anthropic's MCP gaining traction and thought, "Hold my kombucha, I can build something better," which honestly is peak Google behavior. For developers, this actually matters more than the usual protocol wars. Here's why. First, if you're building AI agents today, you're probably writing a lot of custom integration code. A2A could save you from that pain, assuming it gets adopted. The protocol uses standard web technologies like HTTP, JSON RPC, and server-sent events, so it's not asking you to learn some proprietary Google tech. Second, the founding member list is genuinely impressive. When AWS, Microsoft, and Google agree on something, it usually means the standard has legs. Though let's not forget these same companies also agreed on various cloud standards that nobody uses anymore. Third, the security model is actually enterprise-grade from day one. A2A supports OpenAPI authentication schemes, role-based access control, and all the stuff your compliance team will ask about, because nothing kills an AI project faster than failing a security audit. But here's what the marketing doesn't tell you. Implementing this stuff isn't going to be trivial. You still need to think about agent discovery, capability negotiation, task lifecycle management, and error handling across network boundaries. A2A gives you the plumbing, but you still need to design the house. And let's talk about the elephant in the room. We now have two competing protocols for roughly the same problem space. Google swears they're complementary, but any developer who's been around the block knows how this story ends. Either one wins and the other fades away, or we get stuck maintaining both forever. For the open source crowd, A2A being under Linux Foundation governance is genuinely good news. It means the protocol can't be yanked away by corporate politics, and community contributions actually matter. The GitHub repo is already active, and you can contribute to the spec. What's really happening here is the emergence of multi-agent AI architectures moving from research papers to production systems. Companies are realizing that one giant AI model trying to do everything isn't always the best approach. Sometimes you want specialized agents working together. Think of it like microservices for AI. Instead of one monolithic agent that's okay at everything, you have smaller agents that are really good at specific tasks. One for data analysis, one for writing, one for scheduling, and they coordinate through protocols like A2A. This could actually be huge for reducing vendor lock-in. Instead of being stuck with one company's AI platform, you could mix and match agents from different providers as long as they all speak A2A. But let's be real about the business motivations here. Google sees the writing on the wall. The future of AI isn't going to be one company's ChatGPT clone ruling everything. It's going to be ecosystems of interoperable agents. By open sourcing A2A and getting competitors to adopt it, Google is essentially saying, if we can't own the whole ecosystem, let's at least make sure our protocol is the lingua franca. It's a smart play, honestly. Meanwhile, your API costs probably aren't going down anytime soon, because now instead of calling one expensive AI API, you might be calling 3 different agents that each call their own expensive APIs. The math is still math. Here's my honest assessment. A2A solves a real problem that developers are facing right now. If you're building anything with multiple AI agents, you're probably reinventing this wheel. Having a standard protocol could save everyone a lot of time and headaches. The fact that it's backed by companies who usually can't agree on what to have for lunch is encouraging. And the Linux Foundation governance means it's not going anywhere even if Google gets bored and moves on to their next shiny project. But, and this is a big but, we're still early. The protocol is at version 0.2, the tooling is minimal, and most importantly, we don't know which approach will win in the market. MCP has momentum, A2A has corporate backing. Place your bets accordingly. If you're building AI agents today, here's what I'd recommend. First, don't rewrite everything immediately. Both A2A and MCP are evolving quickly, and you don't want to be refactoring every month. Second, if you're starting a new project, consider designing your agent interfaces to be protocol agnostic. Abstract away the communication layer so you can swap protocols later without breaking everything. Third, keep an eye on which companies in your space adopt which protocols. Enterprise adoption usually drives these standards wars more than technical merit. And finally, remember that protocols are just the plumbing. The real value is in the agents you build and the problems they solve. Don't get so caught up in the infrastructure that you forget to ship something useful. That's the TLDR on Google's A2A donation to the Linux Foundation. The bottom line, we're moving toward a world of interoperable AI agents. Google wants to provide the standard everyone uses, and developers get to deal with another protocol while hoping their weekend debugging sessions don't turn into protocol debugging sessions. If this saved you from reading 47 blog posts about agent protocols and corporate politics, hit subscribe. And if you're building multi-agent systems, drop a comment. Would love to hear what challenges you're running into and whether you think A2A or MCP will win this particular standards war.